home is more than a building, 20 years. In today's world, that almost sounds unbelievable. People change phones every few years, cars every few years, furniture, neighborhoods, even friendships. But a house that has quietly stood beside someone for 2 decades, tells a very different story. It has witnessed birthdays, Christmas mornings, late night conversations and moments of victory, and days when life seemed impossible. A home doesn't just protect your belongings, it protects your memories. Sometimes staying isn't about lacking ambition. Sometimes it's because you've already found what truly matters. 2. Society loves constant upgrades. Modern society celebrates upgrades. A bigger house, a better address, a newer kitchen, more bedrooms, higher ceilings. Everything must become larger, faster, more expensive. We're constantly told that happiness lives in the next purchase. But the people who truly understand contentment often stop chasing. They improve their lives without constantly replacing them. Because peace isn't measured in square feet. It's measured by the people waiting inside. 3. Stability is rare. Living in the same house for 20 years usually means something valuable. Stability. Children know where home is. Neighbors recognize your face. The local grocery store remembers your name. The streets become familiar. The seasons feel predictable. That kind of stability creates something money struggles to buy. Security. And people who value security often make wiser, long-term decisions in every area of life. 4. Every scratch has a story. Every old house carries scars. The scratched floor, the faded paint, the loose door handle. Most people see imperfections. The owner sees memories. That's where my daughter learned to walk. That's where my son dropped his first bicycle. That's where we celebrated our anniversary. The longer you stay, the less your house becomes an object. It becomes part of your family. 5. Contentment is powerful. There is enormous strength in being content, not lazy, not unambitious. Content, because content people spend less time proving themselves to strangers and more time building meaningful lives. They understand that success isn't always visible. Sometimes, the richest life looks surprisingly ordinary. 6. They chose roots over appearances. There's something remarkable about people who stay. They don't spend their lives chasing appearances. Instead, they grow roots. Like an old tree, every passing year makes those roots stronger. The neighborhood changes, new families arrive, old friends move away. But their home remains a symbol of consistency. When you stop trying to impress everyone, you gain the freedom to become yourself. 7. They usually spend wisely. Living in the same house doesn't always mean someone couldn't afford another one. Sometimes, it means they understood the difference between spending and investing. Instead of chasing larger mortgages, they repaired, maintained, improved. Small decisions made year after year often create greater wealth than expensive upgrades. Financial wisdom isn't flashy, it's patient. 8. Memories become priceless. Every room becomes a chapter. The kitchen remembers family dinners. The living room remembers laughter. The backyard remembers summer evenings. Years pass, but the memories stay. Eventually, the house becomes impossible to separate from the people who filled it with life. 9. Comfort beats. Luxury impresses visitors. Comfort heals the people who live there. After 20 years, you know every corner, every sound, every window that lets in the morning light. Comfort creates peace, and peace is one of life's greatest forms of wealth. 10. Success looks different. Some people measure success by moving upward. Others measure success by staying grateful. Neither path is automatically right. But one important question remains. If you already have enough, what exactly are you still chasing? Sometimes, the greatest achievement is realizing you no longer need to prove anything. 11. Neighbors become family. 20 years creates relationships. The people next door stop being strangers. They become friends. They watch your children grow. They celebrate your victories. They support you during difficult times. Communities aren't built overnight. They're built one ordinary day at a time. 12. Gratitude changes everything. Gratitude doesn't ask, "What do I still need?" It asks, "What have I already been blessed with?" People who appreciate what they already own often enjoy life more than those constantly searching for something bigger. Happiness grows best where gratitude lives. 13. Maintenance. Reflects character. Taking care of one home for 20 years teaches responsibility. You don't simply replace problems, you solve them. You learn patience, commitment, responsibility. These qualities extend far beyond a house. They become part of who you are. 14. A house becomes a legacy. One day, children become adults. Then, they return. Not because the house is expensive, but because it feels like home. Some buildings are worth millions, others are priceless. The difference isn't money, it's memories. 15. Character outlasts possessions. One day, every car grows old, every phone becomes outdated, every trend disappears, but character remains. The discipline to care, the patience to stay, the wisdom to appreciate enough. These things never go out of style. 16. Wealth isn't always visible. We often assume wealth has a certain look, a mansion, luxury cars, massive gates, but real wealth is often much quieter. Sometimes it's a paid-off mortgage, an emergency fund, a family that sleeps peacefully without worrying about debt. The people who seem ordinary may be far wealthier than those trying the hardest to appear successful. True wealth whispers, "It doesn't need to shout." 17. They value experiences over upgrades. The happiest memories rarely begin with, "We bought a bigger house." They begin with, "We spent time together." Birthdays, family dinners, holiday celebrations, lazy Sunday afternoons. The walls simply held the moments. The people created them. That's the secret many never discover. A home becomes valuable because of the life inside it, not the price tag outside. 18. Patience. Builds more than houses. 20 years teaches patience. Storms come, repairs are needed, unexpected expenses appear. But instead of starting over, they keep building. Life rewards consistency far more often than constant change. Small improvements, made year after year, can transform almost anything, including ourselves. 19. Success doesn't need approval. Some people spent their lives trying to impress strangers. Others quietly build a life they're proud to live. Those are two very different goals. When you stop comparing, you start appreciating. And appreciation often leads to a richer life than comparison ever could. Because confidence doesn't come from having more. It comes from needing less validation. 20. The house became part of their story. 20 years later, the address means something. It's where dreams began, where mistakes were forgiven, where children grew up, where difficult seasons were survived. The house isn't just a location anymore. It's part of the family's identity, and no amount of money can recreate that history. 21. Simplicity can be powerful. The world often confuses simple with small, but simplicity isn't about having less, it's about removing what doesn't matter, so you can focus on what does. People who stay in one home often discover something remarkable. Life becomes easier when your happiness isn't constantly moving further away. 22. Every home leaves a legacy. Years from now, children may not remember the newest television or the expensive furniture, but they'll remember home, the smell of dinner, the sound of laughter, the porch where they waited after school. Home leaves fingerprints on the heart, long after childhood ends. 23. The greatest luxury is peace. Peace is one of the rarest luxuries in the modern world. It can't be bought, it can't be borrowed, and it certainly can't be shown off. It comes from knowing you have enough memories, enough love, enough gratitude. That kind of peace is worth more than any mansion. 24. what 20 years really says about you. Living in the same house for 20 years doesn't automatically mean someone is wealthy or poor, successful or unsuccessful. But it often says something about their character. It suggests commitment, patience, responsibility, gratitude, and an understanding that life's greatest treasures usually cannot be purchased. They're built, one ordinary day at a time. 25. Conclusion. In the end, every house grows older. Paint fades, roofs need repairs, walls collect memories. But character only becomes stronger with time. Because the measure of a life isn't how many houses you owned, it's how much love, peace, and purpose you built inside the one you called home. If this story made you think differently about success, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who believes that true wealth begins with gratitude, because character will always outlast possessions.